Hi guys, it's been a while. Okay, I didn't know how I was going to start this out, except for I was at work. I just got home and, well, something clicked in my head. It's like a puzzle piece that finally found its nice little spot. Because, Watchtower likes don't do that. My childhood was not fun. And if you've ever seen this, A Child Called It, it's a really good book. You should read it. It might churn your stomach, but I went through this, and I don't know if you can see that, but I basically studied it like a watchtower. I underlined the parts that were prevalent in my own head and decided to try and make sense of what happened to me through what happened to Dave. There's this one. There's The Lost Boy. It's a little thicker. Walmart carries them. And again, this one not so much. I didn't underline this one. But basically, it's his story through childhood and the abuse that his mother put him through and all that. And I figured while I was working, while I was really, really busy today, I know that my mind is more able to process this book itself than 2 chapters of this. That is how far I've gotten into it. This book didn't churn my stomach. I went, oh, hey, this sounds familiar. And went, oh, okay, yada, 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 so on and so forth. And I got a second one and did the same thing. And he has a third. This is the aftermath of him as an adult. And then I read that. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. He's adjusted, yada, 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 so on and so forth. Rock on. I get through 2 chapters of this book and I have nightmares for days. And I'm thinking to myself at work, why? Why am I so readily able to go and say, well, screw it. I'm able to go and readily, willingly go and basically wait for a knock on the door from my father, so I can punch him in the throat, than I am walking into the Kingdom Hall. I tried on Watchtower Victims Memorial Day a couple months back, and it was Thursday night. Yeah, Thursday night. And the meeting had just started. There was people walking in, and I froze like half a block away. I couldn't do it. I couldn't walk up to that building. And it's a building. It's a building. I'd rather deal with a person than a building. What flying fucking shit is that? Curious thing happened to me about a month or two ago. Me, my wife, a friend of mine who is a self-proclaimed, let's see if I can get his terminology right. See, my brain is so, I can't even think straight. Educated heathen, a self-proclaimed educated heathen. Okay? And it was, like I said, my wife, me, him, and his girlfriend at the time. We still together, whatever. See, I can't even. Blah! And these two Mormon boys come up to us. And I go to him and I go, hey, I got this. Just watch. And I go, hey guys, come on, sit down by the fire. We were having a fire pit. You know, roasting marshmallows and hot dogs and stuff. And they start doing their shtick. And I just go and say, well, hey guys, I'm an ex-Jehovah's Witness. And they immediately perk up and go, oh, tell us about them. Okay, dude, you asked for it. So I go and I tell them their belief about Michael and Jesus and the 1914 thing. And for you all who don't know, who just happen to might hop onto this video for some reason that's recommended or whatnot, the witnesses believe that Michael and Jesus are the same being. Yeah. They're not. It can be proven, but they believe that they are the same being. 1914. Jerusalem was destroyed in 607 B.C.E. They are the only ones that believe this. And I kept, this is all the stuff that I tell them. And I kept going and saying, oh, okay, well, and this is a couple months back. See, Jesus, 1914 thing. And then, and then they go and they come back at me with, well, we're here to talk about what Jesus did in the Americas. I'm like, oh, really? How did he get to America? And they give the example of the Sea of Galilee, how he crossed from one side to the other. If he could do it there, then he could go and cross an ocean, right? Okay. How? Where's the proof? Well, I feel it in my bosom. Okay, he did some great things, cool. That is, even if he existed, and that's another thing I will get into later. But I go, well, if, and at this point I was fuming because I could tell that they were indoctrinated. I could tell, I could see it. And it's a funny thing. When you're out of a cult, you can see that it's a cult. The moon cult, the Heaven's Gate cult, the asteroid people. That's the Heaven's Gate cult. Jim Jones and the People's Temple in the 70s. The Witnesses, the Mormons. Once you are able to see, you cannot unsee. It is impossible. It's new light. Yeah. So I bring up, while they're doing their shtick, the B.I.T.E model. And they go, what's the B.I.T.E model? Behavioral, informational, thought, and emotional control. And I go, something to the effect of, information control. I remember this. Information control. They asked, well, can you research outside of your religion? No, the witnesses can't. Everything outside of it is evil. Absolutely everything outside of this nice little box is evil. And they go, whoa, it's okay. We can research outside of our religion. Really? Can you? Okay. Then tell me why you believe what you believe, because to me, it kind of sounds ridiculous. Some dude who can only see and repeat the Book of Mormon when he's head down in a hat. And he's got this magic little golden tablet thing, whatever. How can you believe that when how? And I keep going. Behavioral control. Men can only do things in the religion. Women cannot. They are subjugate. Period. Same thing with the witnesses. And he goes and he stops me and he goes, well, do you believe that we are controlled somehow, some way through the B.I.T.E model? And I realized where he was going with this. And I had to stop myself from immediately going yes. And I said, no offense. You both seem like awesome people. But to some extent, every religion, every single one, follows the B.I.T E model in some fashion. And they go, oh, fair enough. We'll see you. Have a nice day. And I'm like, oh, wait, hold on. What about, and I bring up another one of the the witnesses' doctrines. And I can't remember which one, but they ran. They wanted to run. And as I'm talking, I try to pass it to my educated heathen friend. And he gets up and he walks off. He's out. He didn't want to have anything to do with me going and saying, hey, here, have a little bit. I know you want to. And as soon as he did that, I kind of just bowed my head and smiled a little bit, because I knew that he just wanted to but didn't, because if he opened his mouth, they probably would have gone and ran like little chicken shits. But that's beside the point. So I let them go, and it took 2.5 hours of me talking to these two dudes. And at the end of it, after we had doused the fire, he comes back and he goes, I have never seen anyone do that so eloquently to someone else. He was basically saying you controlled them, and you were damn good at it. And I went, yeah, I know. That's Watchtower for you. And I said it with a smile on my face. But the thing is, after reading 2 chapters of this, first one, I read the forward to the first chapter's Price of Conscience. And it talks about Carl Adams and Nathan Knorr and Fred Franz and all of the members of the governing body and yada, yada, yada. And then second chapter. Oh no, that's the second chapter. The third chapter is the governing body. I haven't even gotten to the governing body in this. First chapter is Price of Conscience. Second chapter is Credentials and Cause. Anywho, I haven't even gotten to the third chapter yet. And I had a dream where it was just a madhouse in here. And I hear this knock on my door. 1, 2, 3. And it's this nice trimmed elder in a suit. I can tell he was an elder too. He wasn't this ragamuffin rank and file witness. He carried himself as an elder, and people that are in the XJW community, you know what I'm talking about. And as soon as I opened the door, I stepped outside and I shut the door behind me. It was like, no, this is mine. You cannot have it. And I basically woke up, and it made me angry. Extremely angry. Not that I had the dream in the first place. It's just that person, that being, that entity knocked on my door. I didn't want him there. I do not want this in my head anymore. Period. And like I said, I'm more willing and able to go and give my father a throat punch and read this and stomach this and find parallels in this than want to even try to find parallels in this, I'm going to read it. I'm going to take it slow because I don't want to have nightmares for days again. I don't want to. My brain has to process this information, and it's a thick book, too. But something clicked today, and just a puzzle piece shifted right into place. And that's it. And I wonder why. Why is it? Here's a question. Why is it that people, and I know it happens, it doesn't happen to every witness, every ex-witness, but I know it happens because of the Australian Royal Commission and the convicted sex offender that got caught going door to door here in the States. I know it happens. And I'm not saying I was sexually abused, because I was thankfully lucky, and that never happened to me. But I got my ass kicked. To the point to where Munchkin Syndrome, almost, you know what I mean? And it was all fine, well, and good, as long as I knew exactly what to do, how to do, and when to do it. And I used the Kingdom Hall and the brothers and the sisters especially, as a safe haven. And they knew. I found out later they knew. They didn't do a goddamn motherfucking thing. Because they couldn't. Because I was a minor. That was the reason that they gave. The elders in the congregation. That is the reason they gave. But that's beside the point. That's all well and good. I don't really give a flying. I don't care. Because I wouldn't be the person that I am today if that had not happened to me. But that does not excuse the fact that, again, I was willing to subject myself to Borg mentality. And I knew I was doing it too, because I had found in the aid book, Aid Bible Understanding, page 884, 85, underneath the subtitle Jehovah, Remundus Martini. I found it while I was in the congregation. While I was an unbaptized publisher, I found that little gem. And I went, okay, hold up. And I stopped and I thought, if the name Jehovah itself is a machination in between Elohim, Adonai, and the tetragrammaton, the YHWH, and he meshed it all together. He took those three, meshed it all together, and put a J in front of it, just because he could. Once I found that out, I stopped here retaining and reciting, and the brothers, the elders, kept asking me, well, when are you going to get baptized? When are you going to get baptized? Oh, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. That was my immediate response. I am thinking about it. That was it. That was as far as I was going to go, because I was not going to be a part of an organization that straight face lied to the people that was in it. And I couldn't go, hey, look at what I found to everybody else, because I knew what would happen. Well, that's old like we have the Insight books now, which conveniently that got taken out of the Insight books. And I would have been not disfellowshipped, but because I wasn't baptized, but ostracized and talked to, and I didn't want to have anything to do with that, so I kept it to myself. I had to. Because of the situation I was in, I could not go, hey, bros, look at this information, look what I found, and maybe open up some minds. And to those who are in the Cliffside congregation, if you ever find this, I'm sorry I didn't. Because maybe then someone somewhere would have gone, hey, wait a minute. Okay, I'm going to wake up too. I'm going to do some personal freaking study and go, wait a minute. This and this and this and this and this and this don't make wrong sense at all. The Michael, Jesus, Archangel thing, the John 1:1. John 1:1. In the beginning, the Word was. And the Word was with God, and the Word was a God, little g. Okay, couple of things wrong with that. One, the a God, that A isn't supposed to be there at all. And two, the witnesses believe in one single higher power, higher being, Jehovah, right? Okay. Let me reiterate that scripture to you. In the beginning, the Word was. The Word was with God, and the Word was a God. Okay. One of these things just doesn't belong here. If they are so monotheistic, then why a God? If you point that out to the rank and file witnesses and call them polytheistic purely for that scripture alone, never mind Hebrews 8, they'll probably go, wait, nope, don't do that, and run out the door. Anyway, guys, why is it that some people just aren't willing to face a building rather than a person? I'll leave that to you. But that's me. Black sheep of the unwitnessed, and you're welcome for the gems. Have fun. Bye.